Well, he's right, it's at 7 o'clock, it's time to start the meeting, everybody get quiet and come to order, let's see all y'all here. We got public hearing right for amendments to zoning ordinances, so we're gonna let Will take over here.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, we have two public hearings on ordinance amendments, and I will call those for public hearing now. If you're here for that purpose, this would be your opportunity to speak. The first is, it's an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of the city to revise the minimum setback and buffer requirements for accessory buildings in residential districts, to move that setback to 5 feet for certain accessory structures to be consistent with the recently adopted building code. Is there anyone here to be heard for this public hearing? Anyone here for this public hearing? And I'll declare the public hearing closed and the ordinance is on for council consideration later in the meeting.
There's one guy right here.
I'm sorry, I didn't see a hand.
Yeah. I got a letter from you.
Wait a minute, that's public comment though. I'll get to you. Mr.
Okay,
Williams.
thank you.
Thank you though, I'm sorry. Anybody for this ordinance public hearing? Thank you, then I'll again close that public hearing. The second is a hearing regarding an ordinance to amend the subdivision regulations to revise minimum setback and buffer requirements, likewise for certain accessory structures in residential districts. Is anybody here for the subdivision ordinance public hearing? And I'll declare that public hearing closed, and likewise that ordinance is in the agenda to be considered by council this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Joey. Bless everybody here tonight. We're going to start off with the invocation. We'll have a play flag. Lord, thank you for the blessings of the day. Give us strength, courage, wisdom to make the right decision to see you. Amen. Let's play the flag. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Time for citizen comments. Here's the rule we're going to provide. Time for citizen and public comments will be made available at the beginning and ending of each city little work session and council meeting. Comments can be made by anyone for the business owners and businesses are located within the city of Little. Comments will not be limited to any topic. Comments must be directed to the mayor and the council. Language must remain civil, and the speaker should avoid personal contacts on council or staff. The speaker should take their name and address. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. The timer will be set, and at the end of 3 minutes, the speaker will be asked to bring the comment to a close. If there is nothing else to be said, if there's something else to be said, an opportunity will be available at the next session to offer citizen comments. All right, anybody have any comments?
You pulled that mic.
Yeah.
I don't need a mic. I'm loud now. My name is David Fleeman, and I'm at 5470 Highway 51 South. I've got 7 acres. I have invested a significant amount of money in my property. For you to cut a road through my property is kind of crazy. And I want to know what this is going to accomplish. Okay, what positive thing is going to happen by putting that road, cutting through people's property? Anybody have an answer?
Well, this is time for comments, Mr. Fleeman, so I'm going to explain to council the letters that we sent based upon the engineer's information to get onto property for surveying and inspecting by the engineers, which would then be followed by the actual survey of property be taken and then subsequent appraisals before council would decide whether to proceed with this project or not. This request in this letter was to get on the property to proceed with the surveys. That's what Mr. Fleetman is addressing.
I want to address it to some extent, as much as I possibly can. What we're trying to do, we're trying to find a bypass across, away from the railroad track, because that road there, where dropping off is right in the
Yeah.
railroad track. We're trying to do that road away from the railroad track, to make it safer for people to drive through there. That's what this is all about. We're trying to find a better bypass around that area there, which came off the railroad. That's what this is all about. To answer your question, that's
Anything
it's for safety
gonna,
of the people.
okay, anything gonna happen about the railroad tracks?
We're
Going through Lula, it's horrible.
You're right about that.
Yeah, all right.
That's another issue another day.
Yeah, all right, thank you, sir.
Matt?
Okay, my name is Pam Kenny and I live at 176 Railroad Avenue. I got the same letter, but my thing's a little bit different. I kind of oppose this because I feel like we're putting a Band-Aid on something instead of addressing an issue. If we're having an issue with wanting to do the one-way, because I know that there's a problem with the road on Railroad Avenue, why are we not addressing that versus just trying to put a Band-Aid on something to go across? Because eventually, that road is going to have to be fixed. So I know because I have lived here for years. My husband has been here his entire life. This is where he went to school. This is where we decided we wanted to live out the rest of our lives. So, so I know that there has been talk for years about that piece that's having the problem that y'all are also talking about. So if that needs to be where the focus is on, it's not just coming across with cutting through people's property. Although what it looks like here is I'm going to be losing half my property. So if that's the case, then I kind of feel like y'all need to come to the table with actually just buying me out altogether, and I'll just move out of Lula. But at this point, I feel like, again, that we're not addressing the issue that's at hand. I have begged and pleaded. I've been up here several times because I usually try to take care of things like coming up to the office and talking versus being up here fussing. So I've come up here and I've talked to Dennis countless times, I feel like, about the issues that has been on that road. Again, there's just a ton of traffic already with the subdivision that's there. And if we're making a one-way there, we're really not, and I'm fine with the one-way, we just really need to figure out a way to actually fix that road piece versus just going through people's property to do a bypass. So, not real happy about this at all. Just feel like I was the more civilized person to come and speak between me and my husband, just to state kind of our concerns. Because until that's addressed, we're not really taking care of the issue at hand. So that's my 2 cents worth.
Thank you, Patty.
Thanks.
Can I comment on that?
Yes.
So there's an issue with Railroad Avenue and the railroad, and that's where the problem lies in fixing that road. I can't elaborate a whole lot, but the railroad's hard to work with. They do not cooperate with anything, and when you're dealing with the railroad, you hit all these stumbling blocks. It's not that we don't want to fix it, we're having to go roundabout ways to try to get something done.
Okay. And if there's
Does that
anything,
help?
if there's anything
I
that,
don't know, it don't help, but.
right, it's because, like I said, it's our forever home.
Right.
When my grandkids come home or come over, like I've just left my granddaughter there with my mom. I mean, that's when they walk in there, that's what they state. That's my forever home. That's where they feel comfortable. So now I'm telling them that I may be moving if this happens because I'm not going to be able to continue to do what we were wanting to do. Because next year I was coming and going to speak to someone about possibly putting, because we have the pool there, I wanted to do like a little pool house. And I mean, so this is going to take away all of my future plans for the home that I was building for my family. So, but thank you for your comment.
Pam,
Yes.
one more thing. I did not realize your property included this. I thought it was further away from the H Street intersection. I did not realize your property included this. And like I said, we're still trying to figure out a way to do it, we don't know. I didn't realize that your
And
problem
that's-
is affecting it, I didn't.
Yes.
I guess I haven't studied close enough to see.
All right, thank you. Thanks.
We're trying to find a solution.
Thank you.
Fix that.
Reset that time.
I mean, I don't know. Figure it out.
There you go.
Okay.
Robert Grizzle, 6400 Narramore Way, Louisville, Georgia. I just want to, I didn't get to get them here last week, so this is a little bit later, but just want to congratulate the councilman from District 4 and District 1 on the re-election and your decisive victory on your re-election, council member from District 4.
Thank you.
And for council-elect woman of District 5 for a great decisive victory. Thank you. I believe that, I think you guys need to look at this, what happened with the majority of the vote that was there and realize the citizens of Lula have woken up to what's been going on. So they're expecting you to do a job, and I put it on you guys to do that job now. Because the citizens have spoken, they see what's going on now, they've been educated, and now we're ready to move forward and do it right this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Anybody else?
My name's Sonny Smith, I'm at 6813 Belton Bridge Road. That is not in the city, it is in the county, but it concerns your water line. I'm here in regards to the water line on Belton Bridge Road. It was insinuated in the last work session prior to this meeting that the property owner was responsible for the holdup to the contractor. I would like to point out that the engineer knew that the water line would not be allowed on that property before he drew the plans. The city knew about the line and the property because, Mr. Mayor, you were present in a meeting, a committee meeting that included you, Mr. Bergen, and 2 council members. And it was brought up at that time that the old man that owned that property would not allow you to put a water line on his property. Now then, they were told, you were told, city was told, the engineer was told in the presence of a city employee. Yet, he still did it. Now, I came down here to this office prior to the project going out to bid and asked to see a set of the plans. They were here, the contractor was getting them, and I was told that there is no one here that knew anything about a water line on Belton Bridge Road. Now, I think that since that statement was made in a public hearing, that the owner of the property is entitled to an apology from the city and from the person who made that comment. By the way, the water line is not complete yet. Thank you.
You say. Anybody else? All righty. Everybody's read the minutes from the last meeting. Anybody see any questions, anybody on those? I then take a motion to adopt.
I'm motion to adopt.
Motion by Virginia Baptist to adopt minutes as written.
Second.
Second by Curtis Smith, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Okay, yard of the month. This is Halloween winner, they get $100 credit on a utility bill. District 1, the Samantha Huck, 5490 Lombardi Way. District 2, for Susan Higgins, 5513 Hood Street. District 3, was Tabitha Daniel, 6435 Maryland Way. District 4, Judy Simpson, 6253 Main Street. District 5, Emily Hutchins, 2021 Brookside Drive. Congratulations all of y'all for that. And the Christmas yard of the month is coming up. Decoration. Go ahead. for the holiday. That's also another $100 credit on your utility bill. So get them decorated, make them pretty, and we'll those pick those next month. Okay, finance. Andy, what you got? Same money here last week?
Yes, nothing new.
All in favor? Still the same way.
Yeah, still the same.
We're short $6.7 million balance in the bank. And, short real good project flow. Like utility fund is still a little slack, but it's nothing to get upset about. The audit for this year, it hasn't been done yet. We've run into some difficulties getting it done. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna ask the state to issue an extension for audit for 6 months after the first of the year, so we can get that done and satisfy state requirements. Now, I entertain a motion to extend that audit. Anybody?
I'll make a motion that we extend the audit.
Motion by Denise Shelton, second by Gene Bennett, to extend the audit until June 30th.
Yes.
We're requesting extension.
Yes.
State still has okay, but it's a request for extension. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. We got extend the audit. All right. The city of Louisville does have a property tax, but every year we roll the millage rate back because of every balance of budget. So this year we're going to roll the millage rate back to 0. But we gotta get approval to do that. So I entertain a motion to roll the millage rate back to 0.
Mayor, I have, just to still meet the legal requirements, there will be an ad run on December the 6th, and I would ask you to vote on that on December the 18th.
Audit, or
No, the village rate.
roll
And
back.
it says exactly what you said, that it'll be to the rollback rate to 0, but we run that ad 1 week, at least 1 week before you vote on it.
Voting at 12/8.
Yes, and you'll see it's a display ad, it'll be December the 6th.
Got Edmonds in there. All right. The water, well exploration, I'm not sure where we are on that, but yeah, you got that on that down?
The last we heard, Mayor, and I'm still reviewing, as is the engineer and Mr. Bergen, is that I believe there were 4 well sites, but they may be within a certain distance of a creek or other state water. And you still need to move forward with that, but I'm not sure what other action needs to be done. And we'll keep you updated as they move forward. But that was the only information I had, and I don't know if y'all received those reports, but there were, I believe, 4 well sites that were being reviewed. And those are for test wells.
Now, I was under the impression that that line, water line was completed out of Belt Bridge River. I was told it was, again, they're still working on it. So, I don't know how close they are, I don't know where we are on that. That's just one that I don't know about.
Mr. Mayor, they have completed laying the pipe. They installed the blocking on the pipe today, and they should be getting ready to test the water line in the next
Sometime
near
this week.
future.
Sometime this week, probably. Thank you. The paving bid, we want to approve, did we not approve, we got to approve that bid, right?
Yes.
Oh, the water tank. I thought was it done?
Yes,
I thought it might have been done too.
yeah, I think you just put it on here just to show
Yeah.
that it was completed.
I haven't, let's see what it looks like yet, but gotta get that more. Okay, the paving bid, we have a researching several locations in town. We actually had one bidder, qualified bidder. So we have to approve that contract tonight for $309,000 in Mount Peters. So I'll entertain a motion to approve that contract to Garrett Paving Company.
I make a motion that we approve the funding for the paving.
I'll second that motion to approve Garrett Contracting for paving.
Motion made by Denise Shaw to approve the Tony Cornett, second by Tony Cornett to approve the contract for Garrett Paving to pave specific amounts of roadway, I guess we can say that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. And the stormwater plans, y'all got the update on them.
Mayor, the only report that I have on that stormwater plan is I know there were some questions about cost for engineering if you chose to do the multiple bids, which was suggested so that you could select alternates based upon the bids. And I did not see a response to that question of what would the additional engineering cost be for issuing bids that would allow you to select those alternates. So if that's an impact on your decision, I understand. I just don't have that information for you.
Well, I still think we probably need to go ahead and get it done.
Yes, sir.
That's just my opinion. I don't, this, the drain's not getting any better.
Yes, sir.
And you do realize where it's at now, right? Everybody knows where it's at, what's the deal in it. So, the committee is, so the land knows to work up a bid pack, four separate bids, like two for Chattanooga and two for Carter Street.
Correct.
So that's what we need to let them know. That's not even a vote on it, it's to, is that the way voting? Yeah, I guess we'll have rent, design, and bid out a two option bid for Carter Street, two option bid for Chattahoochee Street to repair the dry water mains underneath the roadways.
Correct. Do you mind if I restate it? We would say for Chattahoochee Street, I know that the committee was recommending that we do what rent refers to as the green portion, which is 236 inch, to replace the existing 24 inch. That would be one bid package. A second bid package would be to add the junction box for all flows for Chattahoochee Street. So those would be the two bid packages for Chattahoochee Street. Then on Carter Street, and correct me if I'm wrong, we decided that we wanted to go with a bid package for the precast box culvert as opposed to the precast concrete pipe culvert. So that would have been option number 2. And then option number 3, which was the poured concrete box culvert as opposed to the precast box culvert. A lot of words there. But so it would be, for those listening in, Carter Street, option 2 and option 3. And then back on Chattahoochee Street, option 2 and option 3, according to Rent's most recent drawings. Yes. So those are the, I think, 4, we had indicated 4 bid packages that we would want to have done. And I know that there was some discussion on price, but I think we all agreed we wanted to move forward with 4 packages.
I just want to let you know.
Yes.
So all in favor of getting that done, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. We need to let Rent know to start drawing and figuring it out, right?
Yes, sir.
The trash collection fee will go up beginning of January, the beginning on the January billing, which is for this month. Is that correct? The January 1, no. The January 1 billing will not have a raise. The February 1 billing will have a raise. I thought it did.
So the bills that go out the end of January will,
Yeah, that's it.
yes.
So that's actually the February 1 billing. Just a reminder of that's going on. I'm working on committee assignments. I'll get those to you next month. Something else, we've got to set up a time to interview city manager candidates sometime next week, if we can possibly get a schedule worked out. We're gonna try to do it. I think we might have to do it two separate days because of the time involved. It'll be a 4-hour meeting, or it's supposed to be a 2-hour meeting, 2 days, maybe Tuesday, Thursday next week. So if we work out a schedule there, we gotta let Dennis
And
know.
I know I cannot do Thursday.
All right, Tuesday,
I know
Wednesday.
that much. I know I can't do Thursday.
Monday, Tuesday, sometimes not. But I think it'd be better off in a 2-day cycle as opposed to a 4 in 1 day.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
it's even going to be 4 days. So we'll try to set that 2 days. All right, now, amendment to the zoning ordinance. We heard a public here today. Everybody's seen paperwork on it. Like that thick. So I entertain a motion for the zoning ordinance first to amend it to reflect the changes to make it match IBC.
I'll make a motion for item number 12 that we approve the setback for accessory structures in residential districts according to, what's that here?
Match IBC.
See if there's a better way for us to say that. Oh, yeah, they're identical.
Yeah, one's just for regular and one's for
One's on, one's
subdivision.
that.
Yeah.
I told you.
So zone, for one for zoning ordinance and then one for
Subdivision.
subdivision regulations. So yeah, I guess we handle it one at a time, so
Yeah.
I make a motion that we approve the 5-foot setback as discussed in public hearing for the ordinance.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Tony Cornett, second by Dennis Chapman to approve the setback. The amendment to the zoning ordinance for the accessory structure in residential districts. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Same thing for subdivisions.
Yeah, so I make a motion to amend the subdivision ordinance to accept the 5-foot setback as discussed in our public hearing tonight for subdivision ordinance.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Tony Cornett, second by Dennis Chapman to amend the subdivision ordinance to change the setback for accessory structure in residential districts. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. All right, Jim Vincent, you're on the agenda.
I'm probably loud enough anyways. My name is June Benson. I live at 4719 Old Cornelia Highway. And you all probably remember, most everybody in this room, I think everybody did, sign my petition that I was passing around for the library. When I had a meeting with the county administrator this morning, and he updated me on the plans. He showed me what they've got so far. And he wanted to give me an update and gave me a copy of the general idea of the progress that they've made so far. Now, you know, I really wanted one for Lula, but we're not getting one for Lula, but we are getting one at East Hall at the community center. And I don't know about you all, but from my house, it's 5 miles one way, 6 miles the other. So at least we're not having to go into Gainesville or Cornelia. So anyways, they are going to build an extension on the community building over there, a 10,000 square foot extension. The state and the county have $3 million each of funds, so that gives them a $6 million fund as of right now to work on this project. The addition is going to be on the side of P. Davison Road, which is the road that you drive in when we go to vote there. Once they get the final approval, they're going to get bids to start on the addition, and the builder will be selected and construction will start at the last half of 2024. I know it'd be great if everything could just happen like that, but y'all know that. Anybody involved with government knows that it moves slowly. Hopefully by the time that they do get around to building, materials maybe will be cheaper, let's hope. Let's hope inflation goes down and maybe our money will go farther by then. And I want to thank everybody who did sign the petition. I don't know if it did any good, but I sent copies of it to the governor, to Shelley Eccles, and the county commissioner, and he passed it on to Zachary Probst. And Zachary has been real good about keeping me updated, and he will continue to do that, and I really do appreciate that. I did remind him once again that I still want a library in Lula. There are people here who don't have a car, don't have transportation. We still need it, but if we can get that and we show enough interest there, maybe we can get one here. So that's all my update is. I want to thank you all for allowing me to speak, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody here.
Okay. The Development Authority.
I'm tenacious.
You getting updates for that yet?
Applications will be accepted through December the 6th. Nomination forms are here at City Hall.
So we'll deal with Development Authority. The Historical Society rules is the fourth Monday of the month, which is next Monday night, 27th. The election results, and congratulate Judith Talley, Carl Smith. I didn't forget anybody, I'll be interrupted. And Tony Cornett for the election. Julie this morning, next month. Text.my.gov is available still. If you want to get your text messages.
Garnet one, too.
And I said Garnet.
It's hard to hear you because you mumble a lot.
I did win, thank you.
Thanks, Garnet.
The Christmas in Lula Parade and Festival is December 2nd. Festival starts at 4, parade at 6. There's a movie after the parade. It's Polar Express, in case nobody's heard of it. The council will have a retreat on the 29th of November from 10 to 3 at Bonnier Tech. City Hall will be closed for Thanksgiving from the 23rd to the 24th. It's Thursday, Friday this week. All right, it's time for citizen comments.
Good evening, everyone. Mayor, Mr. Mayor, council members. I want to address a little concern that I have about items 7 and 8 on the agenda this evening that I think was maybe glossed over or played fast and loose a little bit in our urge to get out of here this evening quickly. Items in 7, 8, the motion stated by the mayor did not include the cost of either one of those items. Now, you may know what we're talking about here, and you may know the cost, but we in the audience don't know, and the minutes certainly won't reflect it since it wasn't stated.
Did I not say $309,000 round figures? I said that very loud. Did I not say that?
Then, Mr. Mayor, you can listen to my comment, and then you can respond. But I would encourage council members to make a motion to reconsider those motions for those two items to clarify that amount, because either we didn't get the understanding of what the amount included or what the services included. So that I think is definitely needed to be reconsidered, the motions restated and reapproved so that the minutes reflect those costs and the extent of the work correctly. Mr. Cornett certainly reflected the extent of the work on the stormwater plan. I appreciate that with the clarification of options 2 and 3 on each of those culverts. But again, without the cost and without the clarification of what was approved for the paving, I think we're at a loss here as citizens and minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Joseph Johnson. I'd like to thank the previous person for bringing that up because there was a little confusion for me on the paving bid. I heard it was talked in depth about the storm sewer, but I would like to know what that paving bid included around town. So thank you very much.
Anybody else?
I'd like some verification of where my property is by this plan, this map. Joey, do you mind?
I'll get with you, yes, sir, I'll get with you after the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to reconvene and reiterate the streets? We can do that before we leave session.
I can restate it if you want.
The paving project, as I previously stated, is $309,068.99 to Garrett Paving Company. I did state that earlier. I'd rounded off to $309,000. I apologize. I covered out some people got to be exact. The streets included Toombs Street, Wall Street, Cobb Street, Hemlock Street, Rollins Park, McLeod Street, Hemlock Court, Hemlock Street, Belton Bridge Place, Athens Street, Grove Street, Mill Road, 7th Street. There's the plans right there. And the details are with the engineer. And the contractor has bid on that package already. He knows what he's getting into. Now, the stormwater plan is strictly a design and bid process. We don't have the cost on that. We just approve them to go ahead and design it and get us some bids on it, see what it's gonna cost us. Okay? Okay. All right, Mordecai.
Okay, thank you. I want to talk about, we need to think about border control. What side of the border is the city of Louisville on? Let us all talk about how we develop a long-term plan for prosperity and the betterment of all. Just remember that we have a choice to make. We can't live on both sides of the border between good and evil. We hope that the last election has shown clearly the difference between good and evil. We need to serve with the purpose of salt by living our lives in such a way as to prevent decay and corruption that causes us to cave in or be consumed by the dark side. We citizens hope that the past is truly behind us and the newly elected people can bring better attitudes towards all of us. The opposition has taught us a lesson not to be like them. We citizens hope that the newspaper and other medium can show that we have a city that can offer opportunities where everyone can live, work, raise their family, educate their children in peace and safety. Louisville is a city where everyone is welcome to come and build a bright future. Do any of us, whether citizens or city officials, realize what message we are sending to our youth? They learn by watching us how to love and appreciate one another in God's world. We citizens want everyone near and far to know that we will no longer tolerate loudmouths who engage in disgraceful behavior. Now, as our newly elected and present officials, let citizens start to hear or read in all the newspapers how Lula has changed to focus on prosperity and forward thinking with a citizen first agenda. The city of Lula, Georgia does not need men and women who are disrespectful to one another by cursing, living together without marriage, and setting a bad and ungrateful example before our children. When any of us read what God expects of us, regardless of who you are, we are far from this vision. We know that none of us are perfect, and our lives and behavior can always improve. The past doesn't have to determine the future. Change is possible and preferable. Even with a difficult past early in life, that doesn't give us a reason to succumb to the difficulties. We can change for the better as a person and as a citizen. The important question now becomes, can the mayor and the city council members settle their difference so all of us can move on to a better outcome? All of us must have wisdom and discernment which amounts to the ability to see the difference in others and their motives. There are things we citizens want to say to all of our city officials. Whatever problems are most important, you can find a way to solve them by working together. Just remember that your assignment is to solve problems, not create them. So, Mr. Mayor, City Manager, council members of the City of Lula, you must have faith that you are empowered by the citizens who support you to take this city forward where others were unable to do so. Now that the mayors are gone, we citizens want to know that you will go forward to serve the interests of the honest people of Lula who can come here to live, work, find decent housing, raise families, and above all, educate and prepare their children for a better tomorrow. Hopefully now we can have what we should have had years ago. A city council working consistently for the benefit of citizens and the improvement of our community. I want to thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, County. Yes, sir. All right, Connie, you want to have some say? County comments?
Me start off? I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. The crowd looks much better than last week. I want to thank everybody that voted on me. I'd like to thank my campaign manager, Drake. He wasn't here last week due to a funeral. And we had a wonderful meal last week. Dave and the ladies provided, about 150 people. It was unbelievable. A lot of laughing, a lot of fun. Thank you all. Have a nice Thanksgiving.
I want to thank everyone for coming. We appreciate your comment. We'd like, Brian said we got a pretty good crowd tonight. We'd like to fill this place up every week. I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving also. Thank you.
Please.
I want to thank everyone for coming out, and Jim, I should have included that price on that motion, and I'm sorry about that. My bad on that one. But thank y'all for coming, and I hope every one of you have a happy Thanksgiving. And I enjoyed the meal. Dave and Garnet, thank you for renting the building. It was nice to get to be with everybody and fellowship with all of you as a community.
I'll just say, thank you to the mayor for helping us clarify that paving bids. Thank you. It's always good to help keep us straight. So we appreciate y'all involved and your involvement. I just also want to say again, thank you to everyone who did come out to the community meal. That was quite impressive. That was a huge showing of what our community can do when we come together. It's just amazing to see that, and I appreciate every single one of you. I also want to say, we do have the Christmas parade, so I encourage everyone to come and participate with that December 2nd. So I look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you.
I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Hope you have peace and harmony with your family and your friends. And I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Commissioner is adjourn.
I saw it.
Second by Commissioner Lee Ramos. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. We're adjourned.
Yeah.